Welcome back to the breakdown. It is Tuesday, August 6th in the MLB. We're going to talk about every single game on the slate. Then we ramp up the video. We're going to talk about our hot and cold hitters, our good and bad matchups, and we'll also have a parlay play entry, which we'll talk about in a second. Yesterday's entry missed by one leg. So dang close. I rocked my Rangers jersey because we had their money line last night, and that game was insanity. If you want all my best bets, you can definitely go check out the Dub Club, link down below, or you can check out our best bets video, which is posted about an hour or so after this video drops. If you guys have been enjoying the breakdown, do me a favor, hit that like button. Like I said, check out the best bets. We're on an 8-1 run over there. Got some Dinger Tuesday plays as well. And we have a Nerfy as well. We get to wave the flags. If you know, you know. Let's dive into the picks. We're going to start with parlay play. Like I said yesterday, we were so close. Missed by one leg. Oh, what was it? Geraldo Perdomo could not get us a hit. But either way, running it back, baby. We got another one at the end of this video. If you've never signed up for parlay play, do me a favor. Use our code COS. Top link in description. You get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. It's free money. Parlay play. I love them. They have a bunch of different alt lines and things like that. A lot more options than maybe like a prize pick, maybe an underdog fantasy has to offer for you. Parlay play. I love playing over there. I mean, I'm not going to, even though they sponsor me, sure, but still, you should definitely sign up using our code COS or the link in the description and tail my entry at the end of the video. But that's not what you guys came here for. You came for a breakdown of every single game. Let's start with the first one, Reds and Marlins. Reds coming off a big victory, smoked the Marlins. Not a huge surprise there. Rodrigo Munoz is legitimately batting practice. Ellie De La Cruz, what do you have? 4 extra base hits yesterday. Today we got Nick Lodolo going against Max Meyer. Now, obviously the Reds were able to get to a righty yesterday, so their splits have definitely improved. Miami not doing well against lefties recently, but Lodolo has not been good. I'm going to be honest. Over under 7.5. I kind of leaned it under in this spot. I think the Reds used up all their runs yesterday. Both these bullpens are solid. Not, the best in the world, but solid. I kind of leaned an under here. Not sure I'd want to lay the juice on the Reds on the money line, but I think Lodolo finally has a solid start. And I kind of like Max Meyer. He's decent. He's not going to go far in the game, but I think he can go out there and pitch decently. And the Reds, after hitting so many home runs yesterday, getting so many runs, I feel like they'll be a little bit too eager at the plate. I think Meyer can use that to his advantage. Kind of like an under here. I wish it was 8.5. I think it's still 7.5. I don't know if I'd take the 7.5. Obviously, the line could change as the day goes on. Julian an under in this game. The next game, though, we have the D-backs taking on the Guardians. We see the debut of Eduardo Rodriguez, who was sensational. What was it, last year or the year before? He was insane. Obviously, been out for a large majority of the year. This is his first start. Going against Ben Lively. You have an 8.5 total. Yesterday, they soared over the total, and rightfully so. The D-backs have some of the hottest bats in the world. I do want to note, though, Ben Lively, I don't know how he does it, but he goes out there and he pitches well. He goes 5 1/3, 5 2/3, 6 maybe. Gives up 2 earned runs. So I honestly wouldn't be shocked if this game goes a little bit under. I just don't know if I'd take it under because the D-backs are scorching hot. And Eduardo Rodriguez is obviously a liability in your first start. You never know what you're getting from him. Cleveland has been better against lefties, though, recently. Been able to hit those guys. They just got to get the timely hits is what it comes down to. I do kind of lean under here. If I had to pick who I think wins this game, I actually kind of lean the Guardians. I think Lively can give them a shot. And that's all you really need. I think they can easily win that one. They lost yesterday. I like the Guardians if I had to back them. Not, my favorite lean of the day, but I do like the Guardians at the money line in this game. Just don't like, I like fading guys in their first starts of the year. You just see them be a little bit shaky. And the Guardians have shown their ability versus lefties. So I kind of lean the Guardians in this spot. Well, the Guardians do have a lot of lefties in that lineup. And Eduardo, we don't know what we're getting from him, but I do lean the Guardians on the money line here. Next game, we have Pirates taking on the Padres. This is actually a game that I like a Nerfy on. I'm not sure. It's not the Nerfy. We actually have one in the video for our best bets that we actually recorded right before this video. This is not a Nerfy, but this is one that I did look at. Falter's been pretty good, 14-4. Dylan Cease is actually the guy that's not been good in Nerfies. He's like 14-9. Obviously, Dylan Cease has been one of the best pitchers in the MLB over the last 3 or 4 starts, so obviously he's been a little bit better than that. I still do lean a Nerfy here. I think this is a lower scoring game. Manny Machado has been scorching hot, and he'll be in our parlay, I believe, at the end of the video. Bailey Falter, we talked about him in his last start. Really good with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Really good in runners in scoring position in general. Padres have been good, though, against left-handed bat pitchers. Not necessarily a game I have a great lean on here. Obviously, everyone's going to be on Dylan Cease, and rightfully so. He's been so good. I'm just not going to really bet this one, if I'm being honest. It's a Nerfy or nothing for me. Next game, Giants versus Nationals. Now, I won't lie. Yesterday, the Nationals maybe want to punch something because I had their team total over 3.5, and they could not do anything. Today, they will be scoring runs. You can book that, take that to the bank. They will be putting up some runs, say the Nationals, that is. against Hayden Birdsong. Birdsong, a guy that relies on getting the Ks. And the Nationals, normally not a strikeout team. Yesterday, swinging in the dirt. They had Logan Webb. They were chasing all over the place. Then the bullpen came in chasing too. I think this is a big game for the Nats. I think they actually get the Birdsong a very high hard hit percentage. I really think Birdsong a guy that needs those strikeouts. Nats not typically a team that chases a ton. I think they get the Birdsong. I don't think he gets a lot of Ks. I think he gives up 3 or 4 earned runs. I like an over here. Hint, hint. That might be one of the plays that we will be having in the video. I'll spoil it. We are on the over in this game. I do like it here. I think Birdsong gives up his runs. Mackenzie Gore, one of the highest ERAs in July. And obviously, you see on the screen, the Giants have been great against left-handed pitching. I like the over in this game. Nats are putting up runs. The game after I backed them, they'll put up some runs here today. I think the Giants follow suit. And the bullpens, the Giants are not a top six bullpen in the MLB. Sure, yesterday they cooked them. They use some of their better arms. Today, they will give up some runs. Next game, we have the Yankees coming back. They had a day off yesterday, taking on the Angels at home. Yankees, one of the biggest favorites of the day, minus 250. Rightfully so. Luis Gil on the mound against Davis Daniel. Obviously, the Yankees have been red hot against righties. I feel like the Angels win at least one game in this series just because the Angels only win when no one wants to back them. When you start backing them, they're like, hell no, I ain't showing up. When they're not backed, they win one of those games. Is it against Luis Gil? Maybe. I don't like betting Gil. I just hate him. He just stinks. I refuse to trust him. Every time I back him, he goes out there 3 scoreless. Boom, 4 spot in the 4th inning. You're like, what the hell happened, dude? You were looking so good. Then he gives up max runs. He just gets nervous. He has to if he figures it out, cool. But I'm not backing Luis Gil at a minus 250 favorite. Also, don't want to back the Angels here, although I do think they win one game in this series. Their bullpen's been really good. Could it be today? Davis Daniels' whip's pretty low, but ERA is pretty high. Again, I don't know if I would want to take it with the righty. Maybe if Tyler Anderson sees the Yankees, that might be a game that I could maybe get on board with, maybe backing the Angels. Again, probably not a game I'm really looking at too hard here. Next game, we have Blue Jays taking on the Orioles. Blue Jays are at home. Gray Rod versus Chris Bassett. These guys just faced the opposing team, respectively, just a few weeks ago. They didn't match up against each other. I think Bassett faced Corbin Burns, but still, same thing. These two offenses just saw these two opposing pitchers. Baltimore and Toronto has been really good against righties. The bullpens have not been good. Over under a little bit suspect at 8.5, but I don't mind a little over here. I think Bassett, he's normally good for 2 or 3 runs. Gray Rod, normally good for 2, 3 runs. And those bullpens, you're just really asking for 1 or 2 runs on those. I could see this one hit. And both teams really good with runners in scoring position right now. Just saw the opposing pitcher. So the opposing pitcher is going to have to make some adjustments. The hitters still hit them around. Bassett really struggling against lefties. And I have a player prop for a lefty in the Orioles lineup. You have to check out the best bets video, though, for that. But I do like an over in this game. Next game, another over I do like, is Brewers taking on the Braves. Now, originally, I saw Chris Sale on the mound. I saw a total at 9. I was like, what the heck? How's that? What's going on here? But then I learned that it was Bryce Elder going here. Bryce Elder, obviously not very good. Colin Ray has been decent this year, but he did just face the Braves, gave up 2 earned runs. I think Colin Ray gets rocked here. His 3.5 earned runs line is not too surprising. Well, pretty surprising. At 3.5, you don't normally give those. I kind of like Colin Ray under and outs. Not a guy that goes very far. His line should be about 16.5. Bryce Elder, he's not good. Let's be honest. He pitched decently against the Brewers. I'm looking at a game here for both 1+ runs in the first 5. I will make sure Bryce Elder is officially starting, because if it's Bryce Elder, then they switch it to Chris Sale. Obviously, don't love a both to score 1 in the first 5, but I still think the Brewers could get the job done. I do like some runs, though, in this game. I think Ray gives up some. I think Elder gives up some. Almost like the over in the first 5 as an official play. Bullpens have both been pretty good recently. Not necessarily a game that I'm running to, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be backing both teams to score in the first 5. I just have to make sure Chris Sale is not starting, and it is officially Bryce Elder. Next one, we have Rays taking on the Cardinals. Now, you got Sonny Gray going against Jeffrey Springs. Springs just made his debut last week. He gave up 2 earned runs in the first inning, then dialed it back in and shut out that Marlins offense. He will have to face the Cardinals. I've been kind of middle of the pack against lefties. Sonny Gray, we've talked about him before, sucks on the road, great at home. He's at home here. Not a huge shock to see them big favorites, minus 150. I won't lie to you. I really like a Nerfy in this game. I think both these two teams and their offenses are not to be trusted. I would wait to Yandy Diaz is going to be questionable here. If he's not playing, I don't know where the Rays offense is coming from. That team is just abysmal. I do lean an under here. Rays bullpen has been pretty good. Jeffrey Springs, I like him. I think this is a good spot to maybe back an under here. I think that we see a lower scoring game in this first game of this series. Next game, we have Twins taking on the Cubs. That total 5.5. Yeah, that's what it was when I was pressing record here. Some books have it at 6, 6.5. I've never seen a 5.5 total. So the fact they even put it there for even a half split second, insanity. Now, if this was 7.5, I'd be on the over. The fact that they had a 5.5, 6.5, it's a little bit suspect. Yesterday, I said I really like the under with that Festa and Hendricks start. Soared under. That was going to be my other play besides Nationals. Annoyed that I didn't do it. So you have two starters that look good on paper. Pablo Lopez versus Shota Imanaga. Twins haven't been good versus lefties, and Cubs haven't been good versus righties. So that's why I'm not on an over here. I do think there's runs here. Shota sucks the third time through the order. I think the Twins could certainly hit him around. They have the ability to. They have the bats in there to get the job done. Pablo Lopez, you could say his expected numbers are better than his regular. Well, I'm waiting for him. His regression to come where he starts to pitch well. Hasn't happened. The Cubs couldn't do anything yesterday against David Festa. They'll probably rock Pablo Lopez today because that's how baseball works, as you guys know. But again, I don't know if I really want to jump on board with the game that they had a 5.5 total. Something is off there. We have like 75-mile-per-hour winds blowing in from Wrigley Field. I don't know, but this is not a game I'm touching, if I'm being honest. Next game, we have Astros taking on the Rangers. Now, prayers to Josh Smith. You are a legend. We needed you in the biggest way. Today, I'm not on the Rangers at all. No, we got Framber Valdez taking on, I believe, Tyler Mahle, who's making his first start of the year. I just put him on there as TBD. I think he's pitching. Not really a guy that I know, he's pitched a while, bounced around a couple different places. Obviously, you see on the screen, the Rangers have been really good against lefties recently. They've seen Valdez a ton. I think they run up his pitch count. So I don't mind maybe some Valdez unders. He might get some Ks here and there, but Valdez can sometimes be pretty inefficient. For a team like the Rangers that have seen him a ton, they're probably going to be waiting on certain pitches. So I kind of like the Rangers to put up some runs on Valdez. Not sure I'm backing a guy, Mahle, making his first start. This is probably an over or no play for me. I do lean the Rangers a little bit on the money line. The Astros bats just aren't there right now, and the Rangers, they've been hitting lefties well. And Valdez is solid, but hey, Valdez is not afraid of giving up a few runs here. And the Astros just use pretty much all their good bullpen arms. Same could be said about the Rangers, though. But coming off the big emotional win, see if they can build on some momentum here and start to take it to their in-state rivals, division rivals as well. I like the Rangers. I don't know if money line is plus 115, not a bad price there. Framber will command some line respect, but I kind of like the Rangers in that spot. Just not my favorite pick of the day. Next game, we have Red Sox and Royals. Now, the only thing I took in this game yesterday was both teams to score in the first 5. And I won't lie to you, it's probably back on the card in the parlay of the day. Seth Lugo's been really good, but the Red Sox, too dang good against righties. They will stack all their lefties in there. Seth Lugo has obviously been great, but he's not opposed to giving up some runs. They just rocked him a few starts ago. Look, I got to trust the Red Sox to put up some runs, and Brian Bayo is literally... He stinks. He's just terrible. He's been better recently, but the Royals will get some hits on Brian Bayo. He gives up a lot of hard contact. They'll get some hits and runs on him. I think Seth Lugo gives up at least 1 through 5. I'm not even going to spoil it. Parlay of the day includes both of these teams to score in the first 5. I trust both these two offenses a lot. Two of the better offenses in the league. I'll keep running back this series until the Royals try to lefty. Maybe Cole Reagans, but still I think they could get to him. But either way, I'm probably going to be on both these teams to score in the first 5. Just the two offenses are too good. Next game, we have Mets taking on the Rockies. This is the scene of my Dinger Tuesday play. I will not spoil it. It will be in that Best Bets video posted after this one. Today, we have Luis Severino against Kyle Freeland. Not a surprise to see the Rockies big underdogs. Rockies haven't played at home in a hot minute. Mets haven't been great versus lefties recently, but on the season, pretty good numbers. I do lean the Mets here. On the run line is probably where I would go, minus 1.5. Mets, I feel like they just never put up runs late in games. Call me crazy, but I feel like they just never do. It's like they got to get everything going on Kyle Freeland. So I think they put up some runs on him. He's just been absolutely terrible, and they're good against lefties mostly. I think they put up runs on him, and that Rockies bullpen finally starting to teeter back to their 25th in ERA over the last 2 weeks. They were hovering in like the top 12-ish for a little bit. They're back to where they should be. Mets bullpen been pretty solid recently. I do lean in over here, but I would lean probably more towards the Mets minus 1.5 as my favorite pick in that game. Next game, we have Sox versus the A's. If you're betting this game on a 15-game card, and call the number. I mean, A's money line, sure, minus 185, take it. I don't know if I'd lay Ross Stripling minus 185. I think if the Sox are to win a game, this could be it. Ross Stripling is that bad. Jonathan Cannon has pitched well recently. He should give him a chance for that bullpen. Oh, man, the White Sox bullpen is so bad. No, I'm just moving on. I'm not talking about this game. This is disgusting. I think the Sox eventually win in this series. This would be their best chance, in my opinion. Ross Stripling is that bad. Just that bullpen is terrible. Finally, we have the final 2 games on the slate. Tigers versus the Mariners. Now, we have Kaider Montero taking on Luis Castillo. Now, you have Detroit. They've been terrible against righties. Luis Castillo has been pretty good at home. I don't know how you trust the Tigers at all. If they had a 2.5 earned runs line, even if it was juiced, it would have been added to a parlay or something like that for Luis Castillo, but it's 1.5. And I'll be honest, they're only taking 1.5 earned runs lines. Still, Seattle, they were swinging hot bats, just got shut out, had the day off yesterday. Montero's not really going to trust a ton. Has pitched better, though, lately. Honestly, I don't know if there's anything I really love here. If I had to take anything, it might be Luis Castillo to record a win, if that's like plus money. Montero will give up his fair share of hits and runs. Mariners haven't been a great offense, batting average-wise, but good in WRC plus and OPS. They're getting those hard hit balls, and Montero does give up some home runs here and there. I do lean the Mariners here. Not sure I want to lay -1.5, but I do lean Luis Castillo to record a win here. If you can get some good, solid plus money there. And the final game on the slate is Phillies taking on the Dodgers. Yesterday, the Dodgers got the win. Kershaw versus Christopher Sanchez, two lefties. Now, obviously, on paper, you look at down below, Phillies been much better against lefties than the Dodgers have been. I would back the Phillies here. The only issue is Christopher Sanchez has been straight terrible on the road. The only thing good about Sanchez is he does not give up a lot of home runs. So when you look at Shohei Ohtani, plus 450, you think he's getting a home run today at plus 450? No shot. So I really think this is a solid spot. Maybe Christopher Sanchez can pitch decently. I like both these teams to score in the first 5. It won't be in the parlay because I just don't. I could see one of the two guys just maybe pitching a legacy game. Christopher Sanchez, obviously, if he doesn't give up the home runs, that feels like the way the Dodgers score these days. Doesn't give up a ton of hard contact. You're going to need consecutive hits by all the lineup, and I don't know if I trust him against lefties a ton. I still do think there's runs in this game. 8.5 total. Pick them. I lean the Phillies. I just don't know if it's my most confident play or lean that I've given out here. I do lean the Phillies on the money line today, and I think they get up some runs on Kershaw. He just has not been good recently since coming back. Phillies do have some good guys with splits against Kershaw. We'll talk about one of those guys in a second, and some guys in bad splits with Kershaw. A game that have it's a pick 'em for a reason. I do lean the Phillies, though, if I had to pick a side. And then finally, we wrap up the video talking about hot and cold hitters, good and bad matchups, and then a parlay play entry. The first one is hot and cold hitters. Hot guys, the guys that are just swinging the hot bats with high OPS. OPS obviously means they're getting those 2+ bases, triples, home runs, everything in between. Not a huge surprise that the guys on this list, Manny Machado, Aaron Judge, Vladdy, Devers, Gunnar Henderson finally starting to heat up right now. I like Gunnar today. Jack Peterson, a little interesting one here. It's not October, but Jocktober. But hey, he's been swinging a hot bat for him. Should be in the lineup today, right? He's a lefty. Going up against the righty and Ben Lively. Should be in there. So do whatever you want with those guys. I believe some of them make my parlay play entry. And then the guys that are cold, Hysal and Kim, 0 for 16. Dubon, 1 for 15. Spencer Steer, Trey Turner, Will Smith. Guys that just have not been swinging the bat hot right now. You can fade them if you want to. I don't blame you. The one guy wouldn't fade. We'll talk about him in a second because we're going to good and bad matchups. Is Trey Turner. He's been really good against Kershaw. 10 for 22 lifetime. A couple other guys in there. You have a couple. You have Gray Rod up against George Springer. He's had pretty good splits there. A couple of Orioles there. Gunnar Henderson and Ryan O'Hearn. Marcus Semien, pretty solid splits against Valdez. Yeah, do what you want with those guys. As for guys in bad matchups, Bryce Harper struggled against Kershaw, 6 for 32. Take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, the Kershaw's been around for a while. I imagine that's when a lot of their matchups happened. Then you have Stephen Kwan, 1 for 10. Not great splits. Tyrone Taylor against Freeland is 0 for 9. And then William Contreras versus Elders, 1 for 9. I believe that one hit is a double, though. So at least you got some extra bases in there. Again, those are just some good and bad matchups. You can do whatever you want with those guys. And then finally, we wrap up the video with a parlay play entry. If you haven't signed up for parlay play, do me a favor. Sign up using our code COS or the link in the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. And you can tail this entry I'm about to talk about right now. Here it is. Yesterday, we missed by 1 leg. Man, that was frustrating. But I really like the one we got cooked up today. Manny Machado. I talked about him score tonight. Yeah, he'll face the lefty, Bailey Falter. I'm confident he can get us a hit. That's all we need. Then Shohei Ohtani taking us less than 1.5 bases. When I see Shohei plus money for bases and also plus 450 for a home run, that feels very suspect. I don't think Shohei's having a big day today. Sorry, Mr. Ohtani. Gunnar Henderson, already talked to him. Good splits against Bassett. Also been swinging a hot bat. I think he gets the job done. Birdsong and Valdez, 2 pitchers I'm fading. Valdez, he could pitch well, but going into the 7th against a Rangers team that's been good against lefties, can run up the pitch count, foul off some balls. I like that. Going 7 innings is not easy. You need to have a low pitch count, 1 bad inning, and you're kind of chalked there. I think that they can get he'll probably pitch decently, but I think that the Rangers can put up some runs on Valdez or at least run up the pitch count. That's all I'm asking for. And then finally, Birdsong, less than 5.5 strikeouts. Look, the Nats don't strike out a ton. They struck out a ton yesterday. I just don't see them having back-to-back days of just a ton of Ks. I don't love this matchup for Birdsong. I like runs in that game. I don't think he has 6 Ks in it, especially when his outs line is juiced on the under 15.5. He's going to have to be efficient with those Ks, and I don't think he can get them. So that's what I'm rolling with, $20 to win 104. If you want to tail me on Parlay Play, use our code COS. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. They also do a bunch of different offers. They have Aaron Judge at 10x. I think plus 900 at a home run today. So pretty good odds if you're looking for something like that. Again, we love Parlay Play. Sign up using our code COS to match your first deposit up to $100. A little bit quicker video than normal, but I'm going to speed through games I have no interest in, and we're going to talk about things that I do have interest in. So y'all have a wonderful Tuesday. If you want to check out our best bets video, should be live right after this one. Check it out on an 8-1 run. Should be linked over here. As well as our Parlay of the Play, which we've now hit 5 straight in a row, going for 6 straight. Let's have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll see you guys back on Wednesday with another breakdown. See you then. Peace. Also, sign up for Parlay Play. What are you waiting for? Hit that code. COS. Link in the description. Peace.